Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cheryl Technology Channel. My name is Chris. I am your host today, and in this one, we're going to be looking at a program called Pika or something. Pika's the name of it. Backup. It is a backup program for Linux distributions. This one is specifically, this one is openSUSE or SUSE or however you say it. And what it does is it backs up the home folder, which contains all of your stuff. So if we go to the file folder here. Oh, and by the way, if you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ, reach out to me in the comments and I will be glad to pray for you or your family members. Or if you want to know Jesus Christ personally as your Savior, reach out to me there too. And I will be very more than happy to lead you to Him. Now, let's get right into this. So in this one, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at Pika. Pika is a backup program for Linux. It allows you to back up your home folder, stuff like that. And you can add a lot of other things. So like if you want to do this, see, like you can add the home folder backs up all of this stuff. You could back up your, network stuff, but typically the home is all you need. So I looked at my backup and this is where it's sending it. So I set it up to send it to my NAS box, which is a QNAP. I forget the model, but it's a QNAP, and I've got about 7 terabytes of storage on that device, on that thing. And what I did was I set up this backup yesterday, and it took about 10 minutes. Although I do have a 2.5 gig NIC that is able to send data across my network, so on my computer, so it was 2.5 gig is what it was transferring data at. So it didn't take it very long, and I backed it up to this place right here. It was actually fairly easy. It was really simple, and it went really well. There was no hiccups, none of that stuff. So I can honestly say that it works really well. What I really want what I want y'all to understand is that most people will use their computer for years and years and years and years, never back up anything. They never send anything to a different place. They never back up any of the files. Now I know a few people that use OneDrive, stuff like that, which I would not recommend, because OneDrive is yesterday I heard a story about where a person had stuff stored in OneDrive for 30 years and their account was shut down. They lost 30 years worth of videos, photos, all that kind of stuff. And I'm not an expert, y'all, by no means, but I kind of am. And right, if I lose access to 30 years worth of videos and 30 years worth of photos, I'm going to be really mad. And so the interesting question I want y'all to ask is this: is it better to do a local backup or a cloud backup? Now, my NAS is a local NAS. I don't even have access turned on for external access. I don't want it to be open to the network, to the public network. So that's why I did it the way I did it. Now, what I did was I set this up. I downloaded this. I just happened to see it was so when I opened up the store right here, the software store, it was like it was right here. So I'm like, that looks like an interesting thing. And I'd heard about it before from other people. I'd seen a few other videos on it, and I'm like, I'm going to try that. So I tried it, and it backed it up fine. I had no issues. Look at that. Don't you wish that Microsoft would update that fast? And so let me show you the program. There it is right here. This is it. And so it schedules regular backups. I have it set for a week. Now, I use Windows 2 on the weekends, so during the week, I'll use openSUSE or some kind of Linux distribution, but on the weekends, I use Windows for gaming. Now, I am considering getting away from that because I play Warzone way too much. That's my problem, is I play it way too much, and I believe that I'm wasting a lot of time doing it. So now you can do this Pika backup. You could do it to a external drive. You could do it to a flash drive. I mean, there's plenty of options that you could use to do this. This is what I like about open source stuff. Let's just get real, right? Open source people. Now, my last video I did, open source people will say that open source is not as good as proprietary. That is an absolute lie, a bold-faced lie. It is not true. This specific operating system is what we use for SAP at work, where I work. Many enterprise organizations use this application, this distribution from the, well, it'd be technically a distribution family because openSUSE is kind of its own thing. openSUSE is good because it is an enterprise grade OS, and it works very well. Man, this thing is awesome. And so far, I liked it. I wanted to push myself into something different because a lot of what you see these days is people using Mint, Ubuntu, Fedora. I mean, Arch. I love Arch too. Arch is very good. But I wanted to try something different and push myself outside of my comfort zone. So that's why I did it this way. Now, I want y'all to understand why I did what I did. I like to experiment. And you may be one of those people who like to stay within the confines of what you know, but you don't grow that way. To get better at something, you have to. I love that feature, the super button, because I have a super button on my keyboard because it's built for Pop! OS. But you can see the backup right here, and then if we go into this backup, you can see how big the file size was, 68 gig. That's not bad. Backup space, you see, I don't care. I got like terabytes of storage, so it's fine. So then if you really think about this, right? Okay, with OneDrive, you'll get maybe a terabyte of storage, right? And Google's the same way. I have a 200 gig package with Google, and I use that for photo backup, stuff like that. Now, I have considered getting away from it, but I don't know. For me, it's easier if I'm able to access my stuff all from wherever I'm at, and it makes things easier when I'm doing like podcasts with my buddy Aaron and stuff like that. It makes it easier to collaborate on things, so that's why I use it. That's really the only reason. But backup, I think, is a little different. Like I want my backups to be consistent, right? This QNAP, I love my QNAP box. I've done a few videos on it about how good it is, how I like the 2.5 gig NIC interfaces because there's dual ones, and it's like perfect for a backup solution because it can transfer data a lot faster than a Synology. I don't like Synology, and I really don't like what they just did. QNAP doesn't do this, but Synology, they just changed the way they do things. You have to use a disk that is certified by Synology. QNAP says use whatever you want. I like freedom, so I'm going to stick with QNAP, and I'm glad I bought it. I've had this thing for probably 3 years, 2 or 3 years now, and it runs flawlessly. The only problem I had was with the web interface. But back to the backup solution. Now, Pika, a lot of the people that have done videos on Pika say that it is a very good option, right? It's a very good option for backup, and I agree with them because it worked. I didn't have to change anything. I didn't have to make anything different. I had to do nothing. I installed it. I literally went to the store. It was right here. I went in and installed it, right? And there is so many apps for this now. Holy moly, I cannot believe how far it's come. But that's kind of what I want y'all to see, is that Linux is becoming a very viable option. Any person that does any kind of work could use this. Any person. And you have backups that you can store locally or in the cloud. You could do either one. You could do it any way you want. I prefer local, but that's just me. Now, a lot of times you could do like a local backup and then take those files and sync them to a cloud provider. But my question for you is this, right? This person said they lost access to 30 years worth of photos and videos. How did that happen, right? Okay, let me explain. You have a person who has uploaded files to OneDrive, right? How did they know what was in the folder unless they went in and looked at it? It's like, this is your personal data. What the frig are they doing nosing around in your stuff? And they'll tell you, Well, don't put this on there. Don't put that on there. Well, it's not for you to say what I put on there. Your job is to back my data up. That's your job. That's your only job. Your job is not to dictate to me what I upload and what I do. And this is where I have a big problem with a lot of the bigger companies like Google. Now, don't get me wrong. I have a Pixel 6 Pro. I do. I have a Pixel. I love my Pixel. It's a great phone. It is Google. If somebody is looking at my photos, I'm going to have a problem with that. That's none of their business. They don't need to look at my photos. That's not their job. Their job is to back my data up and keep their nose out of my business. And so that's where I have a problem with a lot of these companies saying, oh, well, you have to have the terms of use, blah, 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 blah. You know what? I don't care about your terms of use. I'll go to darn Micro Center, buy my own NAS box, and do it myself. That's where I think a lot of you out there, if you're scared to do these things, right? I was a little bit too. Right, like I was a little scared to back up things to a NAS box and to set it up. But let me tell you, it is the easiest freaking thing you've ever done. Once you understand file structures, it is simple. And I really want y'all to understand how it works. And there's plenty of, like, you could use ChatGPT to say, hey, how do I do this? Or how do I do that? And it'll tell you how to do it. It's like it's not hard anymore. And so I honestly believe that a lot of people think that they can't do it because it seems out of reach. But from what I've seen, this was simple. I literally set where I wanted it to go and hit back up now, and it did it for me. It did everything. So this look at Pika is very interesting because if you look in the home folder, it includes all of these. So anything you're going to have is in there. Now, I would at some point, right? There's another app I'm going to look at pretty soon, a music app, because I listen to music all day long. I am a music person. I love music. Specifically, I like the Temptations and Holvey and Forrest Frank. I like those three people the most, right? And Stevie Ray Vaughan, of course. But I like those people, and I'm looking for a music app that's free that will do all of that. But I don't really know if it exists, but we're gonna check it out. So the backups, it has the backup section here, right? This contains everything. This is what you're gonna exclude, your caching data. It'll be regenerated when needed. Archives, this is your archive, so it'll archive stuff. And I may be able to, like, I think when it writes another backup, it'll archive the other one, is what I'm assuming. I don't really know, but that's what I'm thinking. And then the schedule, so I have it set is every 7 days it'll back up. Here, preferred weekday, Tuesday. Hey, let's turn that on. Regularly clean up archives. And the details, let's see. So right here's what it'll keep. So it'll keep 48 hours, 14 days, 4 weeks, 12 months, and 10 years, right? It's pretty cool, huh? So I like this backup solution because it's hands off. You literally set up where you want it to go and hit backup now, and it does it. Very, very simple. Very, very, very simple. You can also encrypt your backup also, but that's kind of up to you. And everybody, I think this was a great video on Pika. Pika is a very good solution. It works really well. It's very reliable. It did exactly what it was supposed to do, and it did it very well. So I gotta say, man, I am very impressed by how far Linux is coming. I remember like 5 years ago, this wasn't possible. Like 5 years ago, it wasn't possible to play video games. Like a lot of my recording and stuff is going to be on Linux now because I just like it better. And I'm going to use openSUSE, and we're going to see how it does over a period of time. And I think it's going to be really good, but I highly advise you, if you are one of those people that's afraid to try new things, don't be. Listen, y'all, the worst thing that can happen is you break your system, you re-image it, and you start all over. It's simple. It's very, very easy. And I have videos on my channel that will show you and guide you through how to do these things. So everybody, if you don't know what you're doing, Just watch my video and just do. I mean, it is so simple. You set up where you want it to go, hit backup now, and it does it. I would back up just the home folder because the home folder will include all your pictures, documents, videos, all of that kind of stuff. And as I add things to my NAS, right, as I add things to my video folder and all that, once a week it'll back it up. So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying, y'all, is that it is so simple now to do these things. It is no longer just for IT people, and I love that because there's a lady that I teach about once a month, every month and a half. I go over to her house, and she pays me to teach her, and she's actually come quite a long ways. It's quite beautiful to see how far she's come, and that's what I really want y'all to understand. If you're going to learn this stuff, not only do you have to work at it. This is not going to happen automatically. You're going to have to work at it and struggle. But that's what I love about Linux specifically, is that it is designed for you to have to work. You have to try. And I love that piece of it. I love that. So y'all, if you need help with these things, reach out to me in the comments. If I don't know, I will find you an answer because I am very good at finding answers. That's IT people don't know everything, but we're good at finding answers. So that's what we do. If you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ, reach out to me in the comments. If you need prayer for your family or for yourself or for a friend of yours, just reach out to me in the comments. Give me their name, and I will be more than happy to pray for them. And everybody, if you don't know him, reach out to me anyway, and I will be glad to lead you to him too. And if you need to know why you need him, I'll help you with that too. So everybody, this has been Chris with the Cheryl Technology channel, and this has been Pika Backup. And I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you need help with Pika, just let me know. Reach out to me in the comments, and I will be glad to help you set this up. If you need me to do a remote session, I can do that too. I'll be more than happy to help you set this up. And if you just need help with certain things, I can do that too. So everybody reach out to me in the comments. I want to know y'all's opinion on this Pika Backup and what you think of it. And if you have any questions, reach out to me, and I'll be glad to help you. Thank y'all for watching, and until my next video, everybody, peace.